Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Ezekiel here. Odogtiaku Ijoma Mado, Nigerian YouTuber nke known as Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ijoma Mado, Nigerian YouTuber based in Zurich, Switzerland, and today's video it will be a chit-chat get ready with me. I want to share my experience, what life was like growing up in a typical Nigerian Igbo family in Nigeria. And yes, I saw Laefa Ebitomo here on YouTube. She did this particular video, what life was like growing up as a firstborn in a typical Nigerian family. And today I want to share my own experience, what life was like growing up as a first daughter in a typical Igbo Nigerian family. Yeah, and I will be telling you the story. I'll be sharing my experience while I go ahead with my makeup. As always, I've done my brows offline, my brows off camera, and now I'll go ahead with my eyes and my skin work. So first of all, I've already primed my eyes with Makeup Forever eye primer, and for my look today, I intend going for a subtle look with a pop of color, and I will be making use of these two eyeshadow palettes, the Zulu by Julius and Anastasia and Jackie Ayana palette. So I'll go ahead. First of all, I'll be going, I don't think I will hope to do a cut crease, but if it ends up in cut crease, pardon me. Because sometimes when you start a particular makeup technique, you get so obsessed with it that you can't even afford to do something else. So I'll be going in with this brown with credit. I'll first of all start with credit, and so for me, like growing up in a typical Igbo society, it wasn't so much fun, or maybe I can say it was really fun maybe as a child, but then the moment you start growing and up until my teenage years, it wasn't really fun anymore, because when you have strict parents, you know what it means. You're not allowed some certain privileges that your peers experience, especially your peers who are like the last born in their own family, or your peers whose parents are more liberal. So for me, it wasn't so much fun, especially being the first daughter. Like my brother, like I think there were some things he enjoyed that I wasn't even allowed to enjoy. Okay, let's start up with, first of all, like in my secondary school. The junior students usually cut their hair, but once you enter SS1, that is senior secondary school, you are allowed, you can make the hair you want to. My mom didn't give me that opportunity. She said no, to distract you, blah 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 blah. But then my younger sister, my immediate younger sister, the moment it was my turn, my mom didn't even talk. She just started making her hair. Nobody even questioned her. So you can imagine, my mom, her excuse was like, school get the mojo, blah 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 blah. For her, she was doing the right thing, but for me, no, I didn't like it, because sometimes I do think maybe it's cheating. How can you give my younger sister that opportunity to do the things she likes, whereas you restrict me from doing them? No, I didn't like it. So I'll be blending that from this with this. I'll be blending the brown eye credits with this orange shadow from Juvia's palette. So permit me to call it street brutality. I know it's not really brutal, but it's somehow brutal. And the funny thing is that I think most Nigerian youths, many Nigerians can also have this same experience, whereby the first children in the family are usually being restricted so much, but then coming to the younger ones, they get to enjoy so much freedom. Like, you'll be asking yourself, does it mean that these people hate me or what? Like, why would they restrict me so much, and then give my younger ones the kind of privilege to do what they want? Like, growing up, I can't even count up to 5 times, like leaving my house for up to 5 times going to visit some friends. It never happened up until I entered the university. I think that was when I started visiting people, and it's also kind of affected me because I find it difficult letting people visit me, or do I even have friends visiting me, because one, you wouldn't want them to embarrass you in front of their friends, and you don't even know how they will react to it. And secondly, because even if these friends should visit you, you're not allowed to return the visit. In my house, we don't go out, we hardly go out. And my own, on the most part, I think I experience it more being a girl. Like, so in the boys, they are being given some opportunity to, sometimes they go out to train, they go out to play football with their peers, but in my own case, nothing of such happened. Like, my own, I experienced it both from my mom and from my dad. Like, okay, I've already given you an instance whereby I wasn't allowed to make my hair, and that restriction came from my mom. On my dad's part, like, I never knew what it was like not wearing trousers. I had always worn trousers until one day I wore a trouser and I came out. My dad was like, who got that trouser first? Oh, it's my mom. He didn't say anything. Then at night, when my mom came back, he asked, why would you buy trousers for you? My mom was like, is there anything? My mom replied, is there anything wrong with it? Isn't that what every other person is doing? My dad said, let this be the last time it will ever happen. Oh boy, it was really crazy. And the funny thing is that I was restricted from wearing trousers, but my younger ones, like my immediate younger one, was a girl. She would wear her own. Like, it's happened, like I stopped wearing trousers automatically. We would all get dressed. Like, I would wear skirts, then my younger ones would wear trousers. Nobody would talk. The moment I wear my own trousers, when my dad looked at you, you won't even have the guts to even say, but this person is, like, you just have to automatically turn around and remove it. Like, it was even my aunt that called my dad one day that, why would you tell me not to wear trousers? And he knows that I'm going to the university. Like, it's what almost every other person out there is wearing. So why then, I think it's good you let her wear trousers. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as you think it is. That is what every other young girl is wearing. Like, it was, I don't even know. For me, it hurts me. Like, up till now, even I thought I had healed from it already. But whenever I recount all these experiences, like, I keep asking myself, does it mean they hated me? Why would they be so brutal to me in this regards? Whereas my younger ones are enjoying all these privileges. Like, even for me, I wasn't allowed to go out. But my younger, I was even in my, like, I was in my third year in the university. A classmate was getting married, like she was wedding. I told my mom I would go. My mom said, why are you going to do? What are you going there to do? No, you're not going anywhere. I was like, but XYZ went for a burial, went for a funeral just 2 days ago, and you allowed her, and it wasn't even in the capital city of Oregon. Like, she had to travel like it was more than an hour's journey, and you let her. My mom said, you called it burial. I asked her, wait, does it mean you wouldn't allow me to go for celebrations? You rather let me go to where people are mourning? Like, it took for her to accept an outsider had to come in and tell my mom, let Ijoma go for this wedding. That was just the only thing that allowed them, that made them to allow me go for the wedding. And the thing is that it's actually funny because, like, my husband equally has his own experiences. He told me that he was really disciplined to the extent that sometimes he will have to run across the road and the father will still pushing him up till he catches him. But the younger ones, when they do exactly what he did, the father will be like, oh, leave him, they're the little ones. They're the little ones. Like, sometimes when we recount all those experiences, of course it do hurt, but then we get relieved with the fact that we are no longer directly under them. Like, we are now in a situation whereby we do the things we consider right, the things we do based on our own instincts and the things we want to do. Not like before, you have to take permissions and all that. Anyway, let's continue with the makeup, how we continue the gist. So I'll go ahead with Trust Issues, still from Jackie Aina's palette. Growing up wasn't so much fun for me, I wouldn't even lie. Like, being the daughter, like when I have issues with my elder one, my brother, oh, my parents will be like, oh, don't you know he's your elder, you should respect him, blah blah blah. Like, they will always take sides. And then you expect that when you then have the same issues with your younger ones, they will side you because you're the elder. But instead, it will be the opposite. They'll be like, oh, don't you know you're the elder? Don't you know you should know better? You're the elder, you should teach them the way. Hey, and all those stuffs. Okay? Like, to an extent, you can imagine, like, you know that when you get into trouble with anybody, nobody will side, nobody will take sides with you. So automatically, you just have to try as much as you can to avoid trouble, because probably you're the black sheep of the family, even that was never and that will never be. But then it is what it is. You're expected to know better. Okay, and then another thing, talking about housework. Like, I remember before I got married, especially during strike, because we lived in the hostel all through, like from JSS 1 to SS3. So most times you only see us at home during the holidays. And then in the university, I don't even think we ever went on a normal holidays. It was always strike that brought us home, and automatically it becomes our holidays. So when the schools go on strike, like I'll always be the one to do almost all the cooking until I told them no, it will not continue. I have 2 immediate younger sisters, so we'll always take turn to cook. Like if I cook this week, then I'll tell my younger one, you cook next week. And it's worked for some time, but it didn't last long, but that's not a problem. So more like, okay, let's say my duty was to sweep the compound, and the other one is to wash the place, and the other one is to sweep the room. So sometimes when the one who was supposed to wash the plate didn't wash the plates, instead of your parents to start scolding them or talking to them directly, they will still direct it back to you. Akoreya stamp, so you're gonna say meaning that she must not always wash the place. If she doesn't wash, she should take over and do it. Who does that? Holds each person accountable. When they refuse to do their own job, for me, it's better you hold the person accountable. Let them do it. Like, even like then, my parents were so strict that once they send you on an errand, you don't even have any excuse to give. Or even if it's not an errand, once they say anything, you automatically accept it. So suffice to say that they'd make some major decisions for us. Like, I remember when I was about to enter the university, my dad bought the form and filled it. Then he only asked me, what course do you want to study? I said law, which I didn't get to study, by the way. He filled it. Like, he didn't even ask me, do you have any opinion? In the sense that, like, if I was asked, I would have told them to fill at least 2 other universities for me, so that if it doesn't work out with this one, automatically I can try it out with the other one. But no, my dad filled only IMSU, first choice and second choice. So automatically, when I didn't make it up to the cutoff for law, there was no more law for me. But had it been that I was given the opportunity, or maybe if I was asked, then I can easily tell him, oh, try to fill second choice as ABSU or any other university within. That's what it is, being the first daughter. But then my dad filled everything on his own. Then talk about strike. Once it's time for strike, in fact, once they hear there's strike, they'll start calling you automatically, come back home, blah, 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 blah. But then, my younger ones, when it was their time in the university, when there is strike, you expect them to tell them to come back home. They'll even be the one to give excuses for them. Oh, let them be. Others are there. They can go for tutorials. They can go for computer lessons. If they come back, what would they be doing? Blah, 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 blah. Oh boy. Some people are very, very lucky in this life. Like in my next world, I wouldn't want to be the first daughter. No, never. I hope God will grant me my wish. Like if I'm to come into a family of 4, I wouldn't want to be the first. I wouldn't want to be, let's say, a family of 4 where there are 3 girls and a boy. I wouldn't want to be the first. I wouldn't want to be the last. I would be in the middle. Then if I happen to come into a family where there are 2 boys and 2 girls, hopefully I'll be the second one, not the first. Because being the first is not just you're the first. It comes with a lot of responsibilities. And not only responsibilities, not even the responsibilities for yourself. You will still be held accountable for the responsibilities of others that they failed to do. So no, my wish wouldn't be to be the first daughter again. God grant me my wish, amen, I beg. Like for me, growing up, like we always look forward to schools resuming because the strictness of my parents wasn't that fun, I beg. Like the basic things, even sometimes for you to play, my dad will always expect you to, instead of you to play, whiling away your time, go and read your books. Who does that? After studying in the school, I come back home, you still expect me to go back to study. I know their strictness also helped in making me who I am today. Like it contributed a whole lot to making me who I am, like trying to be independent at a very young age. To be honest, like growing up, the only thing I was looking forward to was the day I would graduate school, where hopefully I will become independent, make a living for myself, work. Then you will leave the house for them. Like I was really counting down to leaving the house after my graduation. Then you can be independent, live your life the way you want, but obviously in a good way, because any mistake can equally ruin your life. So I was just looking forward to the day I will graduate. for us, coming back home wasn't so much fun. Like, amongst us, the siblings, we enjoyed each other's company. But when my parents come into it, it's something else. And you know, the thing is that whatever decision they take, they always assume and believe is the best for you, where you're not even supposed to question their authority. Even this video I'm making, obviously I know they wouldn't like it, because to them they did the best for me, but I don't know if it was the best. Yes, I know it contributed a whole lot in making me who I am today, but no, I wouldn't prefer. I don't like it. Like, treat me the way you treated others. Make me feel at home. If this person would do something, hold that person accountable. Don't just say you're the first daughter, you should know better. Like, for me, yes, some people might say it's true. Like, and the thing is that, like, almost an average Nigerian equally have this kind of experience. Like I said before, like, I was just speaking with a friend a few minutes before I started filming this video. She told me that her own, that growing up, that she used to wear trousers, she used to wear baggy shorts. Then the dad came back one day and told her to stop wearing baggy shorts. She still agreed because of that strictness, where you're not allowed to question their authority. She agreed. But then she came back from school one day, that is university, higher institution, to see the younger ones, to see the younger sister wearing a baggy shirt. She was like, why would you let this person wear trousers and not let me wear trousers? Automatically, she went back, bought trousers and started wearing, and that was how she started wearing trousers. That was how she started wearing trousers. Like, the dad told her to stop and didn't tell the younger one. So the one day the younger one wore her, like, she wore her own. So because the dad didn't tell the younger one, he couldn't do anything about it. He can't tell this person to stop. At least she even had the guts to question the dad's authority or to question the dad's command. But in my own house, So shout out to all the sacrificial lambs, the first sons, the first daughter, the first set of children in the family that were used to test this strict brutality, or they were used to test the strength of their parents. Shout out to you, you all are the real MVPs. I remember reading a post on Facebook one time. A girl said, my Facebook friend, she said, isn't it funny that we are not, that our younger siblings are now allowed to do the things that we were never given the opportunity to? So that is to tell you that in a typical Nigerian society, in a typical Nigerian family, this is what they experience. And the thing is that it cuts across all ethnic groups. Like Ifa is Ijo, I'm Igbo, and we both share in these experiences. Like, then because of all these things, it's always made me kind of think ahead. I was hoping I will make it in life. I will study hard, I will get a good job, and then, but where am I don't know. Yeah, that is life for you. We cannot always predict, but to be honest with you, I'm glad I'm past that stage. Even like this one I went to, I was just looking at my siblings. They were just like the little things that I can't even imagine, like you can't even do back then. They were just doing that. I asked my mom one day, it seems you and my dad exhausted your strength and your strictness in raising the elder ones, but with the way I'm seeing my younger ones, like the things they are doing, I can't even imagine that my sibling can do that based on who my dad was and the way he raised us. So, but then, like, I remember one time, like, there's this small biscuit, like cookies or whatever you call it, that we usually enjoy as a child. One day I wanted to go and buy it. My mom said, don't buy. The day you don't see the money, what will you do? You don't want to Mukurabia to buy it for you. So because of that, I didn't buy it. Then one day my younger sister wanted to do the same thing. My mom told her, yes, go and buy. I asked her, what about the day she doesn't see money? What will she asked me, why would she see money? If she doesn't have, the elder brother, the first son will give her. If that one doesn't give her, the elder sister, the younger sister, blah 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 blah. And now she grew with that mentality. Like, if I don't have, this person will always give me. Like, I was complaining to my mom that my younger sister is a bit extravagant. My mom said, yes, well, I thought that you raised her that way. You remember when she was small, you always defend her, saying if she doesn't get from this one, she gets from this person, and blah blah blah. And now she has grown with it, so whose fault is it? But then it is what it is. I think I've wasted so much time on these eyes, so I'll just hold on to this gist, finish up with my eyes, and I'll be right back. So I'll go ahead and line my under eyes, my waterline, with this Sephora eye pencil. Today I don't intend wearing lashes, lash extension or whatever you call it. And by the way, what do you think about the eye look? Is it as subtle as I said? I don't know. Tell me what you think. This friend of mine, she's from my hometown. Like, there was a time we were talking about all this, and she told me that that in her house there were some clothes she wasn't allowed to wear. Like, if she wants to wear those clothes, the dad will, whenever she wears them, the dad will send her back to change it. Telling her that she shouldn't wear such clothes in his house. She should save those clothes when she goes to her own house. She can then wear it, and her own house, they meant the husband's house. But now the younger sister wears it with all strength, all her might, without anybody saying nothing. Very funny, isn't it? No, I didn't enjoy it so much. No, sometimes when I actually thought I've healed from all this hurt. But very funny thing, last year I was pregnant, and all the hormones, all they did for me was just to bring me back all those sad memories that I had forgotten. All the sad memories I thought, like, I've already buried them. They all brought it to my face, bam. And you know, when those hormones come, sometimes you can't even control them. I would just cry. I let it all out. Like, sometimes even if I remember talking to my mom, I'll be like, no, there is no need. After she hated me, why would she treat me differently from my siblings? Why would she do this? Why would she do that? Like, the thought of calling her. But then with time, you know that at the end of the day, she's still your mom, and she's still the person that can, like, especially in that particular situation, like pregnancy situation, she'll always have your best interest at heart more than any other person. Obviously, you will still run back to her. Even to be honest, I think doing this video is also forbidden, like, because for them, they were doing the best for you. But I am grown, or I'm still growing, or I have grown, anyhow you see it, and obviously I have the right to say the things I like and the things I don't like. And if they don't like it, I still have to confront all those traumatic experiences. Yes, I said they are traumatic, and it is what it is. So I'll go ahead with my skin. I will be using this ColourPop No Filter foundation, and for my concealer I'll also be using ColourPop concealer, and I will see you. Yes, I know this shade is almost similar to my skin color, but that is what I want. So I'll go ahead and set with my Sacha Buttercup. So for blush, I'm using Tara House of Tara blush number 33. Yeah, number 33. I love this blush. I so love it. So And remember, when you want to apply your blush, you just smile, locate the apple of your cheeks and just dab it in. I just love the natural effect it gives to the skin, like giving you that earthy glow. So of course you blend. Remember, I said subtle look with a pop of color. I hope I'm doing justice to the theme of the makeup. I'll be using my chestnut lip liner from MAC Cosmetics and those of color liquid lipstick, I think. Let me see. Yes, and those of color liquid lipstick in Knock on Wood. That is what I'll be using for this, and obviously I might as well top it, but let's see. So I'll go ahead and pop my highlighter, and it's actually a highlighter. It highlights the look. And I will go ahead and powder around with this NYX under my eye. And I'll still take the orange eyeshadow from the Zulu palette. So going ahead, I'll set my face with my MAC Cosmetics setting powder. Setting spray, I'm sorry. Hey guys, so this is the finished look. Do you like it? Did I did justice to my theme? Subtle glam with a pop of color. So do you think I did justice to the look? And tell me, would you like to wear this look? Will you be wearing it? What do you think? Let me close my eyes. So the thing is that, in conclusion to my story, it's what I'm actually telling my own story from a female perspective. Even you would think that it must have been easier for my brothers, but then my brother wrote something on Facebook once at a certain time that's citing that my dad about my dad giving us a military training. So that means it wasn't equally easy for him. So in conclusion, for me, yes, I know what they did or how they raised me helped in molding me to who I am today, but definitely I wouldn't be doing that to my own children, in the sense that yes, I know even the society we live in has really changed. It's no longer what it used to be. It's quite different from what it was when we were growing up, and when I was later. I mean, people who were born within the same time as I was. It's really changed a lot, and it's no longer what it used to be. So for me, I don't intend to raise my children in that same way, in the sense that I wouldn't want my son to regret being in the position he found himself, more like telling him. So I wouldn't want my first son, to regret being my first son or regret being born into my family, and I wouldn't want my daughter to feel the same way as well. I know it's not easy, but then we'll have to find a way to strike a balance between the modern day society and the traditional African society. And that is it. Please, if you're coming across this video for the first time, please do me well. Please help me grow. Do me well to hit the subscribe button. And if you also have a similar experience, please don't forget to comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up, like, comment, and I will definitely see you in my next video. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.